weirdest angle ever. Hi, I'm Yasmina from Jazz Vibes. You can find me on Instagram under Jazz Vibes with a double Z. And I decided to take a leap and try YouTube. That is why, look, I'm inexperienced when it comes to recording videos. This is feeling kind of uncomfortable, but I'ma just get myself over that like funny feeling. But as you can hear, I'm in an empty apartment. First of all, maybe I should introduce myself. So I'm Yasmina. I'm an interior stylist, a self-proclaimed interior stylist in Belgium. I love interior design. I love everything that has to do with mid-century style, wabi-sabi, brutalist, the brutalist style, vintage pieces. When you check out my Instagram page, Jazz Vibes on Instagram, doesn't matter. You'll see, you'll get the kind of style that I'm into. So yeah, why does my neck look so tensed? It's incredible. You can just get nervous from recording videos. This is the stupidest thing ever. Let me just hide it. So yeah, this is a new story in our lives. We have the downstairs apartment. I don't even know where to look at. Maybe I should try and take it up. Yeah, this might be better. So we have the downstairs apartment and the one upstairs. It's a block with like 3 apartments. It's a big Lord's house, Hayden house as we call it in Belgium, which is divided in 3. So you have the main floor, the first floor, and the second floor. So I still live in the main floor. I've lived there for like almost 4 years. And then the apartment above where I am now, and it's empty because that's why it sounds like that, became available. So we thought, hey, we need extra room. It's kind of tight. We were thinking of moving out and looking for something bigger. The apartment above came available, so we looked at it and we were like, this is perfect. But he needs a lot of workspace. So we thought he was renting a space in Antwerp City, which is busy, taking a tram and all, like the European way. And we thought, yeah, let's just look for something bigger, which is quite expensive. People probably know who live in Antwerp, like the prices are going up, and we know the owner of this building. We are renting because we have plans for the future. So we're just trying to live a comfortable life in the meantime, just for a few years. So we didn't really feel like moving because it is very tiring. And yeah, so the apartment here was available. We looked at it again and we were like, this is perfect. So this is where I am right now. It's empty. So yeah, this is where we're at. We have the upstairs apartment. It's empty. And I want to turn it into a beautiful place. Watch me. I created this space for my husband. So as I said in previous videos, and I refer to the office makeover, bedroom makeover, etc., we are renting 2 apartments. So we have the ground floor, which we've lived first, and then this apartment became available, and we rented this one as well because my husband needed more space. He's active in the media and he needs a lot of creative space, even space to be inspired, space to come to himself, to read, to get his thoughts, together. He's starting his own company and it's been challenging. Like there's a lot coming at you, and I wanted to contribute to that by creating an environment that really, would do all of that for him. For all those elements to come together, it had to be a multi-purpose room where he could do all of that. And I think, I kind of did a good job. I always say that, but yeah, you have to give yourself a pat on the back to be like, hey, it worked pretty well. I again chose for warm materials because I'm just a fan of raw materials. Sometimes I go easy on the colors. Sometimes I go a little wilder. And I felt like in this room, it had to be a combo of both. By keeping the walls quite calm and warm, even though I did like integrated art, which I made myself. Yes, I'm sometimes I'm looking for something specific. I like abstract painting. I like abstract art, quite modern, kind of messy. Again, in that like wabi-sabi imperfect vibe that I love. And sometimes I like it in certain colors and it's hard to find. So then I start just doing whatever myself. I'm not a painter and I'm not trying to carry that label or anything, but I do have this gift of like making something that like works in the space that I am designing, which I did on this wall. So what I'm trying to get at is, if you're creating a space and you want to give it different functions, think of what is necessary to accomplish that. I chose this thrifted couch that gives me that very like 80s vibe. We're 80s and 90s babies. And yeah, I do like an 80s or 90s pattern. Thinking of the French Prince of Bel-Air, like that kind of vibe. So when I saw that couch, I thought it totally like fitted with that vibe that I was creating because the pattern is quite busy. It is an eye catcher. I didn't want anything too big because my husband's using it kind of like a set. He does use it practically, but also for his job. So because it's like small and light, we can just put it anywhere. When it needs to be out of sight, we can take it out of sight. And then I worked around the couch. My husband does like to use different nooks to read, and then it's just very practical to have little like tables. So when I see those in the thrift store, I always buy them, especially when they're in this regular wood that fits the aesthetic that I have in mind, which is the aesthetic in our house, downstairs, upstairs. These are the kind of like nestling tables, that's how we call them, that you can truly use everywhere. So I did not opt for a heavy coffee table because he just moves a lot and that's not very practical. So yeah, that is why I chose these tables. And then I did chose this beautiful library in the back. This was more expensive from Facebook Market. It's a true mid-century piece and it's just awesome how you can just put it together. I still have a video, I think, where I do that, even where I just paint the walls. I should integrate this in this video. Before I go back to the library, I did opt for limestone paint again. As you can see, it's like beautiful, warm, like darker, yellowish brown caramel. It's more of a caramel color. And because of, the chalk that's present there, it again creates this like very wavy atmosphere. It's so warm. Like if I could, and it would be efficient and
And if with efficient, I mean sometimes limestone paint is not the best option. I'm thinking of the hall, for examples. When you have kids or pets, or your hall's not that big and you bump it, or you just stick to regular paint that's strong enough, to just withstand life. But if your space is bigger and you like that warm atmosphere, I would totally go for limestone paint, which that is my choice in 90% of the cases. So I applied this here as well, and he loves residing here because when you come in here, it does feel warm, and it's it kind of hugs you. So back to the library, I did find this piece on Facebook Market. It's a more expensive piece. It's very practical. You can easily just assemble it, just like Legos. It was really fun to do that. I was even thinking, if we move out, because will not be our permanent space. I don't know how long we will be here, but it will not be our permanent space. It will be easy to just take it out and take it with us. When I was designing this space for my husband, I know, of course, that he loves to read books, and he has a collection and he buys books on a regular. So I thought, a library would be a good thing to just display all of these books, so he can just put them in there, and we could use that space to decorate, use beautiful ceramic pieces, which are my favorite. I like to use ceramics to decorate or style a room with because I think they just add so much character. He's a very colorful person, and I take this into account when I design. I look at the person and I ask questions like, okay, what are your favorite colors? Do you love colors? Do you like it more calm? Can you give me examples? Do you have magazines? I'll make a mood board. I love making mood boards, by the way. And then we just put all of these colors together that, your client or the person that you work with loves. And then you try to, puzzle everything together. And that's what I did here. It's I know how funky he is, and that's why I went for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air kind of vibe. And, his favorite color is blue, but he likes a little green. And so I worked with that. I try to combine all of that. And then, that warm color on the wall makes it all work. As long as you stick to these warm colors, even though blue is a kind of a cold color, the blues that I chose, they kind of some of them are a little darker, intenser, moodier. Other ones are jumping out. But that warm caramel color tones it down and makes it possible. It tones it down, and at the same time, some colors pop, which are beautiful against that wall. It really works. So yeah, today it's less about before and the after, even though I will include some shots. I just want to go over how, you can create a very warm and personal space. I give tips, but I do think creating an interior is a very personal thing. There's certain things that I don't like that someone else does. So yeah, there are universal rules when it comes to lighting and colors. And, there's some creators or interior stylists that are just very good at what they do and they stand out. And they have, their way of working. You can see their gifting and their talents. And I hope I can be of inspiration for you. That is why I am on YouTube, because I just want to share, my love, obsession for interior. And I realize that I am good at it. And it's okay to recognize that, without boasting and thinking that you are I'm not. There's so many beautiful interior stylists that have beautiful accounts that have their own style. And I so appreciate seeing other creators doing their thing. And I just want to be that for someone else, to inspire someone else, even though sometimes I might not find the right words to explain why or how I do certain things, because in my head, I am speaking Flemish. Because I'm Belgian from Antwerp, so I am translating at the same time. I don't have to justify myself, but I do feel like I have to tell you guys that, because even though I might sound pretty okay, there's still a translation thing going on in my head. And it can be challenging. So yeah, I'm doing my best in just telling you guys what I am trying to do here. But the purpose of this video is how to create like a beautiful, or how to designate a piece of whatever room that you would like to address. In this case, it's like living room slash working room slash, library. You can give a room multiple purposes, especially when you live smaller. There's rooms that are, when you live in a studio, you have a space that is your living room and your kitchen and your bedroom and your bathroom and everything together. So how, do you go about that? How do you create, how do you make sure that that space stays cohesive, still is stylish, it's still an interior that you appreciate, where you feel home in? It's very important. All of these aspects are very important. So I chose like a mid-century theme because it does, to me, fit more of this creative entrepreneur that has all of these ideas, that has a bubbly personality, that has this, funkiness about him. And just looking at him and knowing him, I created, this interior here in the back for him. And I think it totally fits who he is. And that is something that you have to keep in mind if you're a very good people reader. And I think it's important when you work with people that you get to know them, that you ask the right questions, that you have an eye for what's already there. Is there something that you want to keep? Is there something that you personally like treasure? And that might not be, whatever. There's so many rules out there and so many videos about like what not to do and what to do in the interior. 5 rules to avoid, 5 this, 10 this, 50 this. I'm like, oh man, I'm like, baby boss, like you have this gif on WhatsApp. I'm like that. I'm like, yeah, there are some rules, but I'm more of a feely interior stylist. I do feel things out. I have difficulties to sometimes put things into words, but when I'm in a room, I can exactly point out what works and what doesn't. And I am just very good at seeing what we can adjust to make it work, which means working with what you have and adding things, that are inexpensive, that don't ask too much of you financially or even, mentally, emotionally, physically. And maybe you're not that very hands-on. I'm a creative person, but I'm not the one to be like, building like a wall here and even women, sometimes you see them on the internet, seeing them do all kind of crazy stuff. I'm not that person. If I would ever come to a point where I can actually like live from being an interior stylist, which is not the case. So if you ever need someone and you appreciate my style, hit me up. But I would work with someone. I would work with contractors and people who have this knowledge. I recognize that I don't have these skills. I just have very creative and visual eye. I'm an extremely visual person, so I see like very fast what works and what doesn't. And I'm gonna keep trying things until it makes sense. That's my strength. So yeah, today's all about this space and how it's like this multi-purpose space that my husband uses. So it is on the first floor. It is actually a living room in this apartment. We're using it for him to do his creative stuff, to work, to record, to make, whatever, just to work. He has his office space. I made a video about that. So he does retreat in there oftentimes, especially now that I, restyled the whole thing. He feels so good in there and I'm happy. That's the biggest compliment. But he still comes in here to do other stuff. So for him to have this freedom to go from one room to another, we are often downstairs. I basically come here to use this because it's my work, it's my portfolio. I make pictures and videos and I use it on my Instagram to show people, what I do. And I sleep here. I sleep in our Moroccan bedroom, which I made a video about too, which is quite popular. I was kind of, wow, people like the Moroccan bedroom. Yeah. It is going well. YouTube, thank you very much. I hope I can take it to the next level and actually do something with it. So if you like what I'm doing, subscribe, like, leave a comment, keep it constructive. Just watch me work, and hopefully I can inspire you.